So guys, here we are with the second semi-final of today. We already have Czech waiting in the final. The first South Korean player is waiting there, and his opponent will rather be FoCuS, who's spawning here on the left side of Echo Isles as the yellow spawning orc player, or his opponent, the South Korean human player that steps up his game. I think for a few months now. He was also part of several GERA Cup finals already, and I think he also won a few of them. So FoCuS is definitely performing really well these days. And he's just getting better and better all over the place. And he's the blue spawning human player on the right side of Echo Isles. So, probably we're gonna have a normal game. I don't expect the Mountain King. Have you seen anything crazy from FoCuS though?
No, I wouldn't expect the Mountain King either. Like, he's done some rather uncommon creeping, but I guess in terms of first hero, I would be very surprised if it was anything else but AM.
Yeah, because yesterday I've seen him play in the Indra Cup, if that's the correct name, that he played against Lucifer, and he was like playing so many crazy strategies, like Paladin opening, of course, that you can play, but nobody is using anymore on Echo Isles, and that got completely shut down.
Yeah, I saw that. He played, on Echo Isles, I saw the last map. He played terrible against Lucifer.
That was terrible, yeah. That was just flat out terrible. It was like second day, and he doesn't even have an innate expansion, and there was like Naga, 5 fiends, 6 ghouls, something like this, and just overwhelming him.
Yeah, he got like half his creep stone in the beginning. So yeah, it's AM first against Blademaster, not particularly surprising.
Also different scouting for FoCuS, so the first peon is not going straight from the top and it's not checking what kind of a hero that is. It's rather a peon that wants to spot where the Archmage is going, or what the second or what the first hero is doing at all. Is this a Mountain King running to the mercenary camp? Is this something that you want to do? He's not scouting from the above because he doesn't want to meet that footman that will start hitting him while he's still on the way to figure out what the human player is doing. I really like that one, but we're gonna have the Archmage nonetheless here for FoCuS kicking in with the 4 militia support. He's going for the green camp on top of the map, and the Blademaster on the other side, of course, also creeping the Augur Warrior, trying to pick up the first claws of attack here.
Yeah, and I like this a lot by FoCuS. I think based on what he saw or didn't see with his PN, he made a decision of starting to creep or not, and now he's gonna be sure to know that the human's not going for any crazy creeping early on. And he couldn't punish this anyway, like the green camp, and therefore he's just creeping on his own.
Yeah, the thing is, if you open up with the Archmage for the mercenary camp, you definitely have to run over there to make something happen, to make him to pay the price for that greedy kind of creeping. And he's pulling a few more militias, so is he actually expanding or is he going for the mercenary camp? I'm not so sure. Seems like he wants to creep the mercenary camp. The PN scouting that one, seems like FoCuS knows what's up. Not buying a speed scroll, taking to tier 2 in the meanwhile. And we're gonna see that the human player will take this camp without too much trouble. I really like that. I haven't seen that all that much, but I really like what I see. Wow, yeah, he stole that one! With the PN.
Wow.
Great.
Okay, Blademaster almost level 2 thanks to that. Claws +9, yeah, for the AM. I guess he's gonna be somewhat happy with. And he stole another one!
What the hell? No, he didn't get that one. He would have been level 2. But he gets this one with the grunt. And now he's level 2 with that crit. The peons, the peasants are all going back. They are evacuated. He cannot really get the Berserker, because he will just be killed. You cannot send him inside your main base, and for that reason you never get them if the Orc player is around. But on the other side, the Orc player can easily pick that one up, and it's a nice addition to his forces. And yeah, overall, it was a fairly good job of the human player to try to get the Archmage to level 3, but in the end, punished with that PN, stealing one and then stealing another one with the grunt, denying him some of that experience points, and he barely has more XP than the Blademaster after creeping such a big spot.
Yeah, I was wondering a little bit that FoCuS took his sweet time with the Blademaster, but yeah, if he's just using his PN, then fair enough. But at least the AM got the boost of speed, so he's gonna have a little bit of free time. But yeah, it doesn't look like... Will he be level 3 after these 2 green camps that he's taking right now? I don't think so.
Yeah, it could be enough. It could be perfectly enough, or just missing like a few, like 2 or 3 XP. I'm not 100% sure if this works. The grunt will try to get some more XP. Will probably try to kill the water elemental. Kills that one himself, and it seems that it's not going to be enough. Even if he kills the other green guy, the level 1 guy, it's not going to be enough. And this is all to the fact that he stole one of the creeps with the peon and the other one with the grunt. You can see how important can this be. Like, this is such a blunder. It's crazy.
Yeah. FoCuS got a little bit impatient, as it seems. He didn't wait for the boots of speed at the shop, and they should be ready by now, but it looks like he's going to go up to the marketplace. His tech is quite a bit ahead, and given that there's no level 3 yet, I'm not so sure how well Sok could do potentially with like a Beastmaster second against that.
It's not important to get the boots for the Blade Master though. Like, I would not get them if I'm an Orc player, because I want to force the human player to spend the money, or I get them and he is not getting them, so that I can punish the Archmage, because I can just like forever keep track of him and kill him. He gets the item from the Ogre Mage. Did you see which one it was? Because he sold it immediately.
No, but you know, it's gotta be like Wand or Scroll of the Beast, I imagine.
Yeah, I really hate the fact that there's only one shop on the map. Usually on Turtle Rock, if you don't get the boots, you just go to the other shop and try to pick it up there, and usually you make it in time. But here on Echo Isles, if he gets the boots on his Blade Master and you don't get it, and he spots you on the map, he will just make you pay for that. Level 2 Water Elemental now on the field with that Claws of Attack and the Glove of Haste kicking in for the human player, will be able to cancel the Bestiary. So the items as well as the level 3 allowing him to cancel that tier 2 building of the Orc player, and this is like a really good start for him into that mid-game section with the Wurmel already kicking in. A crit followed by that Windwalk damage, so 160 damage is dealt to that hero. And with the level 2 Windwalk, even if he doesn't have the Boots of Speed, he will always catch up to the Archmage. And he still got the dust. What kind of second hero do we see from the human player?
Blood Mage.
The Blood Mage it is. And the Sentry Ward in the main base to spot everything that's going on.
Yeah, so Blood Mage second for the human player. What do you expect? Siphon mana first?
I think in this situation I would expect to see Banish to keep that one alive. Because if he is not able to keep that Archmage alive, he will be in so much trouble. And now we need to see the Banish. Yes, the Banish saves him and the shop finishes up in time. Now we can banish the first hero and heal him up with the priest. That was really important. And he even spots the Sentry Ward because he had to use the dust to see the movement of the Blade Master. So one of the Sentry Wards is gone. Immediately a second one was placed in front of the main base to see the movement coming out of the main base and see the militia movement. He buys a healing potion to play it extra safe on his first hero. And I wouldn't be surprised if he picks up all his units and just runs over to the other side. But we also have seen that in the Hawk against FoCuS series. And Hawk got punished by the same stuff that's happening right now on the other side. Shadowhunter creeps the mercenary camp, opens that one up. He could easily buy a second Berserker if he needs to defend a tower rush, because these guys are really strong. But as it seems, human player Sok decides to creep for now, picks up 3 ivory towers, probably wants to get that Blood Mage to level 2, because without the Siphon mana, it's just not doing the trick.
Yeah, and I think this is going, pretty favorably for FoCuS. Again, as you said, with the energy pendant, with the Shadowhunter closing in on level 3 already. And what do you think, these ivory towers? Is he gonna push? Is he gonna T2 expand? What's the plan?
He's definitely gonna push. Or
and he's putting the militia to the bottom.
As I said, that he pills the militia and probably goes for an expansion creep. And the big Ogre Magi is already gone, so a lot of experience is already gone, and he cannot really get that one. He needs to creep the turtle beside that, and he sets up the 3 towers to get an expansion. Maybe he feels that he needs to get an expo up at this point, because the Orc player is well too prepared for this, and he got like way too much space to creep the entire map, get the Shadowhunter to 3 or almost level 3. And you will be punished. If you tower rush into a level 3 Shadowhunter, this is just a task that cannot work. And if you cannot skill the Siphon mana right away, this is also just a not a big mistake, because he had to do it to keep the hero alive and not forced to be a town portal and stuff. But it just gives you some more momentum, some more time as an Orc player.
Yeah, and he's going for the push right now, Sok that is. And perhaps he's going to be able to win enough time there to get his expansion up. But yeah, FoCuS with the XP tome at the bottom, level 3 right now. The only thing that's not going so well for him is that he only has 1 raider out by now, because his Bestiary was delayed. And now the push is happening.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Zorks and the Burrows will pay for it, at least one of them. Maybe 2, probably 2.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 burrows. He will be supply stuck on 50 supply for quite a while. This is usually not a big problem for Orc players. If you get that 50 supply that you want, then everything seems to be fine. And as it seems, he got the Kodo Beast, he got the Raider, he got the Walkers. So 50 supply, his army looks pretty good, I have to say. And this will probably trigger a lot of aggression coming out of FoCuS, because he's not willing to fall into somewhat of a like passive sitting game, sitting tight, and build up an expansion. He wants to hit hard. He knows level 3.5 Blade Master, level 3 Shadowhunter. This is everything that I've wished for. That Pen of Energy kicking in for the Shadowhunter is a nice nice benefit on top of that, and he will just bring the fight to the human player's main base. And I like how also Sok reads that and knows that he will probably need 1 or 2 towers in his main base to fend off that push where he cannot use the gold that he gets, the additional income that he gets from the second gold mine, because it will take some time to pay off, and he needs to buy that time with a few extra towers in the main base. So far it will only be 1 guard tower in the far back. Not sure if this is enough. He's at 50 supply now as well, but the Arcanvolt will be sniped, and then he cannot get any more breaker throughout that fight. No town portal on the human player. I would like to see him give the boots to the Blood Mage as well, so that he can position himself a little better. Parry up of Vitality for the first hero of the human player. And as it seems, he's just raiding him down. He's killing the buildings. Does he have pillage? Not for now. Is he researching it? Yes, he researches pillage immediately. He's not getting upgrades for his units yet. 0-0 upgrade for the Orc, but he keeps the human supply stack so that he cannot use the additional income.
Yeah, this seems like trouble for Sok. He's finally, slowly marching up towards his main base. FoCuS, as you said, built a shop already. The altar, 2 farms. And this 50 supply army with the massively, healing Shadow Hunter that we're gonna see here with his energy pendant, that's gonna be trouble for the human player.
Yeah, if he's not able to siphon mana here, he will definitely be in a lot of trouble. The Blood Mage is the target. He uses the healing potion in time, banishes the Blade Master here. Again, there's no more mana on that Blade Master, but he's also triggering a lot of hexes from the Shadow Hunter. This is also a lot of mana that is spent not on heal wave. We see the militia are closing in, and as it seems, Sok is slowly stabilizing in the game because the mana now is drained and he's burning out slowly. The Blade Master still got a heal scroll as well as a Town Portal and an Invo Potion, so he will stick around for a little longer. He eats one of the breakers, but if this game goes longer, like 5 more minutes, then he will definitely be in trouble, even though he's setting up an expansion right now, probably realizing that Sok got an expansion because these guys met in NetEase quite a lot. He's taking the tower down, level 4 for the Shadow Hunter, leveling up and get some more mana so that he can use another heal wave, but he knows that he is in trouble, that he cannot stay longer there. He Town Portals out, double level 4 for the Orc player. Nonetheless, no level 4 for the Archmage, nor do we have level 4 for the Blood Mage. We still have level 3 and level 2 for him. And yeah, he needs to get back that Arcanvolt, and he constructed it at the expansion, and this is really smart.
But did FoCuS anticipate that? I mean, he got the Town Portal, so he wasn't planning on finishing the game here or anything. And I guess he just wanted to basically get the best fight for as long as his mana lasts, and then TP out is what he did. And I guess that's probably why he spent as many hexes as he did in the fight. And it looks like, I think he's still in the game.
But if he's doing that in the very last fight, or in the next all deciding fight, if he's doing that again, like uses so many hexes to cancel the siphon mana, it's not worth it, because like 60 mana, or if it's 60 or 65 mana that you have to use for a hex, it's quite a lot, even though that your mana pool might be huge with the 540 mana that you can have when you max out. But if you use so many hexes, it's basically 1 heal wave that you just throw away for 1 hex. And even if you hex him for some time, he will still siphon mana you. He gets a few more towers. Sok is at 61 supply at this point. He needs more lumber. He walled off his main base, actually he walled it off. I thought that...
I think he can back himself in if he...
Yeah, he can probably back himself in with that item on the ground stuff. But the Blade Master, look at him. He's so strong. 2 Glove of Haste, 1 Claws of Attack, level 4, so level 2 crit on the field. Uses the Windwalk to get that breaker there. But also Sok struggles to find some more wood to construct the towers that he just picked up.
And Blizzard by the AM. Yeah, this is looking scary. Quite a big human army here for Sok already. He didn't get any items from the shop yet, but I think this
he can surround the Blade
timing.
Master. Look at the Blade Master. He's still got an Invo Potion. He of course got the teleportation staff, but he's forcing him in a bad spot. He staffs out to his army, and now he needs to defend that expansion. I would also try to come from that small area down there that you usually use against Night Elf or want to exploit. But since he got the towers, he can also establish a good concave here. Sets up both of the towers. They also got Magic Sentry, so they will see the Blade Master, even though he uses Windwalk. And that army from the Orc player is getting bigger, and if he's not winning that fight, he was in problems. So he needs to win that fight as a human player. You need to banish that Blade Master. One of the breakers dies immediately. No scrolls for Sok, or one healing scroll for Sok, but he loses that Berserker quite fast. Keeps it alive, but loses one of the priests though. Mana siphon on the Shadow Hunter. He's down to 100 mana, and this time he cannot Town Portal out here, or he will lose the expansion.
Yeah, FoCuS didn't start this fight particularly great. He used all of his ensnares immediately, so he had to use the first Hex on the AM again to prevent the Blizzard. Now, the majority of his front has already fallen, and the Blade Master is gonna have to do it, apparently.
Yeah, and he's not doing the trick, as you can see it right now. The unit numbers are dwindling. 48 supply for FoCuS that remains against the 54 supply. So a small supply lead there for the human player, but what is even more noteworthy is the lack of mana. He needs a shop close to that expansion. He should have constructed the shop a long time ago, because he should have known that the human player will come to that location and will take a fight there to kill that expo. The Blizzard is doing an amazing job. He was not cancelling that one all that often, because you cannot hex both of the heroes. If you're getting mana siphoned, he used the hex again to cancel that one. He was not using the end snares all that efficiently. Now he tompulls in, he knows that he has to go on the aggressive, uses a clarity potion, has a mana potion still in store for that Shadowhunter, but he needs to drop the pen as well as the nobility, a circle of nobility, to get like a little bit more out of that one. Colobee is still both empty. There's so much stuff that he needs to do in order to stay in that game. Can he really pull it off? Banish on the Blade Master again. Probably he should use the Invo Potion to get some more damage on the board, but it seems really, really strong here for Sok.
Yeah, the only thing that might be going for him is that the AM is slowly actually running out of mana, something we rarely see. And Sok is gonna have to replenish that. The Shadowhunter now uses the mana potion after dropping the pendant. And he's gonna have one more heal wave, maybe two if the fight goes for long. And then he's just gonna be a glorified headhunter and isn't gonna do all too much for the orc. And Sok still standing strong with his towers, which he's now building further to the front. Whereas, yeah, FoCuS army size is dwindling. 45 against 58, 61. Another raider is falling, the last raider actually. And it's, yeah, G. Not gonna get any easier for FoCuS.
Yeah, GG from FoCuS. He really lacked the shop down there. He could have extended the fight a lot longer, maybe get rid of the towers and so on. But also Sok, with the expansion and the aggression, like setting up the expo, going for the main base, killing 2 burrows, and then also taking a good fight, even though it was super delayed and he lost like a lot of buildings. I thought like it might have been too late. He was able to succeed or get further his advantage to the later stages, and then with the Blizzard use, that was just beautiful. And it seems like FoCuS is really struggling in the bigger fights, like against human, that you have these late game fights where you have to need your end snares on point to cancel the Blizzard, where you need the end snares on point to cancel the siphon mana, and like Lun is crazy with the micro on the on the Shadowhunter. He's just never siphoned. Like, no siphon mana touches him ever, or the Blood Mage goes so deep in that he immediately kills it. It's crazy.